Okay, so we are gonna paint something. Gotta get my pen. Okay. So, I have to figure out what to paint. I really don't know what I should paint, but I'm thinking of doing some sort of flower because I painted this butterfly. So I want to do something sort of similar maybe. So maybe I can just do something simple like a forest. So I'll start with my pen and just do some strokes, just some simple ones like this. Just to form a basic tree shape, just to start with something simple so I can kind of get my creative juices flowing. And then I'm gonna start adding some branch-like things. It's not gonna be perfect, just something to start out with and help my thing look better. Oh, there's people here. Hi, guys. Whoops. My bad. This is my first time live streaming, by the way, if you haven't been able to tell. So I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so if you haven't been here before, basically I painted this butterfly a while ago. And I'm trying to paint something that's kind of similar to this, or at least something that's cool. Thank you. I worked very hard on it, actually. It was very hard to make. It took me like, well, it wasn't that hard. It took me like 2 hours. So that's what I'm doing. But I'm working on paintings to add to my store, my Etsy store. So that's what I'm doing. But I just wanted to do something simple so I can do something more complex after. But I learned that my paintings get better the more time I spend painting. It just takes a second to kind of get them up. So I'm just doing like a really basic tree right now. So that's what I'm currently doing. Gonna add some leaves to make it look more like a tree. And what else should I do? I guess I can do, I think this is about it. I don't think I have to do anything too complex. So I have some brushes over here. This one's like a bigger one. This one's more of a thin one. And then this one's like a thick one, but smaller than this one. And then some other ones too. Can I draw something after what I'm drawing now, I'm assuming? If you guys want me to draw something, you can request it. And as long as I want to make it, I will. Or at least I'll try to. I guess it depends on how many requests I get. Okay, but I'm going to start actually painting the tree. So my watercolors are up here, but I'm just going to use this brown one. So this isn't going to be like a very good painting, but I haven't painted today, so I kind of just want to start with something. Spider-Man? I don't know about that. I can't really make people. I'm not that good at that. Like, the thing I paint most are plants and trees and stuff. I guess because this is plant vengeance, so I kind of focus on plant stuff, because since my Etsy store, I want to sell stuff related to the theme, so I kind of focus on making stuff related to plants. Oh yeah, I can do a flower. I can do that after this. But yeah, I haven't actually done a live stream before. I've always wanted to. I just haven't for a really long time. And I just decided that I'd finally do it today. Okay, so this is a very weird color because it's just a like an underpainting type thing. But the way I paint is I kind of just go with the flow. I don't actually know what I'm doing. I just make it up as I go. So you can probably figure that out from my techniques. They're not very Thank you for the subscriberness. I appreciate it. But once I finish these paintings, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to upload them as speed paints on my channel, like how I did with my other paintings that I painted before. So just going to make little branches like that. And then I'm gonna start with the green part. It's gonna be a little bit brown because I didn't wash my brush, but that's fine. Adds more character. I'm just gonna add the green parts like that. Just kind of coloring on. The angle is a bit weird, but that's fine. And I promise it will come together as I draw it. But one of the important parts about making stuff like this is using a pen that's waterproof, so it doesn't smear on the like when you get it wet, it doesn't smear. Because that would be kind of bad if you spend a whole bunch of time painting and then everything just smeared. So now I'm going to use a slightly darker green. Go around the leaves a little bit. And then I'll get a smaller brush to kind of add even more detail. Work on the trunk a little bit. So thank you guys for the compliments. I appreciate it. Okay. This is actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Live streaming is very similar to just recording a video, which is kind of weird. I didn't know that, but at least this form of live streaming. I don't know if it's... I don't know. I don't know if live streaming is normally hard or not. I've always just been scared to, because for some reason, I don't know, something about live streaming is scary. I guess the fact that it's live. I keep getting worried that I'm going to be interrupted during a stream. But I was surprised that I was able to stream now. Because I thought you had to have like a certain amount of subscribers to do it or something. But I don't know if the rules have changed for, you know, what's allowed and what's not. So I'm just adding some more brown to the base of the tree. So it's kind of looking like this now. And then I'm gonna start adding some more on the edge of it. Like this. Just kind of making random strokes with my brush. Not worrying about it too much. So it looks kind of like that. I'm just gonna keep adding stuff until I feel like it's done, which can take a while sometimes. It really just depends. But now I'm gonna add some even darker green to the leaves right here. You can kind of see it right there. So it's a bit more of a higher contrast now, especially in certain areas. And get some water to kind of not make it too harsh. Help blend it a little bit. Like that. Oh, no, that's fine. Like that. Okay. So now I gotta start adding some actual structure. I had like a tiny, really thin brush. I'm not exactly sure where that is, so I'm just gonna stick with this one. This one's still pretty small though. It's not super small, but it's small enough, I guess. So now I'm gonna, now that the chunk's a bit more dry, I'm gonna do some more outlines, especially around the, like the side, right there. Gonna do some of these tree line things. Should know what more of this stuff is called. Still learning. If anyone knows any plant facts, then you can leave them down below. And I'll be sure to read them. Okay, so we got a bit more detail going, so that's good. Just slightly a bit more, so it's kind of looking like that now. Okay. And now, I'm trying to find a good angle for this. Okay. It's not the best angle, but it's what we got. I have no idea what the pure vessel from Hollow Knight is. Can you... Because I know Hollow Knight's a game. Can you give like a description of what the pure vessel is? I'd appreciate it if you do. So I can look it up, but I'd have to get my iPad. And I guess I could get it, but not right this second. I'm gonna try to finish this tree. But basically I'm painting. Not the best painter in the world, obviously. Not even close to it. And just so you guys know, if anyone wants to give any painting suggestions, I am not good at painting people. But if you guys wanted to see a painting, I already showed it earlier, but I painted this a few days ago. This is kind of more up my alley. I like painting plant stuff. So, yeah. But, if you look at my link in my bio thing, you can see my Etsy store, and I have paintings listed there. But yeah, I appreciate your, like for my painting. I worked very hard on that one. I think that's probably one of, if not the best painting I've ever made. So, I'm really happy about that. Oh, and by the way, guys, this is also my first live stream. So, it might not go exactly smoothly, but I am, in fact, trying my best. Okay, so, got kind of some leaf shapes going on up there. Now I'm gonna work on the hole in the middle of the tree. I wanna make it darker. So I'm just painting. I really wish I could show you guys like the actual angle I'm seeing this at, because the angle that it's recording from is kind of horrible. But it looks very different from how I see it. Like if I were to lift the camera and look like that. Not very different. I guess it's also because it's wet. You can see a glare that I don't see in real life. There's a non-existent glare there. Okay, but I got the middle hole. You'll be able to see it more when it's dry, I guess. But I got the middle hole, and now I'm gonna take a darker version of that brown and put it around the edge of the hole to make it look more holy. And then I'm gonna take some black, which a lot of people say you're not supposed to use pure black, but it's my painting, I'll do whatever I want. So I'm just gonna take some black and go like straight across the outside of the hole. Like that. Then if I lift it, you'll be able to see what I did there. Kind of like some shading stuff. And then, because I feel like it, I'm gonna do some black. Some more blackish details around the side of the tree here. Make it come together more, kind of like some feathering right there. See that? Just add some more detail and to make it look more like a tree. Okay, so now I'm gonna add some more just generic lines. And gonna add some more black lines. Black's a bit harsh, you can kind of see, but I don't really care. I think it looks cool. But you'll see time and time again people saying to not use black or white, like pure black or white. Which, yeah, it is better to make a color sometimes. But if you haven't noticed, I'm kind of doing like my own artistic thing over here. Just doing what I want. Oh, I'm not in the frame at all. Okay. Keep taking the thing out of the frame. Okay. So I added some more. Wait, move these brushes. I added some more lines right here, so it looks more detailed. I think it looks pretty cool actually. I like the colors. I think it looks nice. So now we gotta do the same thing, but for the leaves. Well, not same thing, but a similar thing with the dark colors. So on my palette, I have, this is a 100 color palette, by the way. It's a grabby one. It's from Amazon, but oh man. Okay. I might do that a few times, by the way. I keep knocking my thing over. Anyway, I'm gonna use these dark greens. They're so dark you can't even see them. Okay, if the camera topples over, just know that it's probably gonna happen again. Okay, so I'm gonna move my brushes. Okay, so and I'm gonna use one of these darker greens. And I'm just gonna kind of do like a similar thing that I did with the tree. So I'm gonna take some of this like watered down color and kind of merge it into the rest of it, just to help it blend. Then I'm gonna take like a more saturated version, which you cannot really see, but just gonna go in the leaves and kind of play around with my brush. I'll pick it up so you can see. I do know what Splatoon is. Kind of. I've heard of it. I don't really know anything about it. It has something to do with squids, I think. It's a Nintendo game. Kind of like that. I think it's a Nintendo game. Well, I don't know if it is a Nintendo game, but I know you can get it on Nintendo Switch. So educated in all my gameness. I never played it though, I don't think. Well, if I have played it, I didn't play it long enough to actually remember it. They're making the leaves just slightly darker. That's cool. I'm glad you like it. What do you play it on? Because I don't even know if, where people play games. There's so many places now, it's crazy. Nintendo Switch again. That's what I thought. I got it right. Yay. So smart. Okay. But I think you should be able to see this. I'm adding more green to the leaves. The purpose of this live was to test out live streaming. Because I want to start trying to stream, like, if I can, almost every day. It's so simple. And I, like, hate editing videos. So I feel like this is a good way to get my video things out there. Okay, bye. Have a good time playing with your friends. Enjoying the gaming life that I could never live. Okay. I'm gonna add more highlight things, not highlights. I don't know the term for these words. If there's like a seasoned watercolor painter that stumbles upon this live, they're gonna be screaming at what I'm doing, because based on the fact that I don't know what I'm doing. Just sketching around the leaves, not sketching, like making a watercolor outline around the leaves. Because that is what cool people do. I'm actually streaming this like straight from my phone. You know, a lot of people use like Streamlabs and stuff, but I'm just doing it like this. Okay, so you can see there's some more detail added to the leaves now. I wish there was a way to like, can I make a comment? I can start a poll. Okay, I'm gonna make a poll. I'm gonna name it to have you checked out my Etsy. What's the question mark here? Inventions LC.etsy.com. Yes, no. Okay. I started a poll. Someone voted. Yay. I wish I could pin it. Whatever. Okay. Gonna do some more outlining and stuff. There's really no like method to this. I'm kind of just making stuff as I go. It's kind of just how I do everything. Okay. This is very interesting. Live streaming. Okay. So now that I've done the outlines, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I guess I can soften them a little bit. I can kind of bleed in to the rest of the leaves. Because that sounds like a good idea. Oh, thank you for deciding to stay to the end of the tree. By the way, I'm almost done with the tree, just so you know. And after this tree, I'm gonna paint a flower. I don't remember who. Someone asked me to paint a flower. And I can actually do that one with my very limited painting skills. The butterfly was actually something that that was unexpected. Because most of my good paintings start from sketches. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my Etsy stuff. I know some of my stuff is kind of expensive, but that's just how it is. I guess, I don't know. But I'm currently working on getting my first painting sale. Because I'm pretty sure most of you guys don't know this if you haven't watched my long form videos. But when it's warmer, I sell plants. So that's what I sell on my Etsy a lot. If you look at like my reviews and stuff, you'll see people that bought plants. But that's what I normally sell. That's what I do. But because it started getting cold, I shut my business down for the winter and the rest of the fall. So I just trying to make paintings and stuff that I can sell when it's cold while I wait for plants to pick back up. But if you see my other videos and stuff, you'll see just how many plants I have, because I have plants everywhere in here. I'd show you, but I don't want to move my camera again. Okay. So that's kind of how it's looking right now. I think it looks pretty good. I'm trying to figure out if I should add to black to the leaves. I feel like that's a bad idea, but I also want to do it, so I'm gonna do it. Because who knows, it could mess it up, but it could also make it be like the most beautiful thing anyone's ever seen in their whole entire lives. And obviously, I am okay with risking that, apparently. I can make some random brush strokes because that's apparently something that I like doing. Okay. So that's kind of how I'm doing the leaves, right there. And then I'm just gonna keep adding a bit more detail, and then I'll be done with the tree. and I'll start painting a miscellaneous flower that I'm probably not even gonna know what it is when I'm painting it. But that makes it better, because that means technically I can paint whenever I want. But if you see my shorts videos, you'll see that I've painted a flower thing before. So probably gonna just make some of that. I'm not really sure though. Just adding some random black marks in it because I feel like that looks cool. So that's what I'm doing. Not really sure if many people make painting streams anymore. I feel like that used to be a very popular thing. But I don't know if it is now. Not really sure. Okay. It's like a very interesting art style. I just really like painting with black. Black is probably my favorite color to paint with. I like how bold the lines are. But I think it's also like my favorite color to see used in painting. I keep taking it out of the frame. Okay. I think it's also my favorite color to see used in painting. Just looks so bold and nice. And even though it's watercolor, it's like entirely opaque, which is pretty nice. That's something you get a lot. Even though it dries less dark. But you know, that's just what you gotta deal with. If you layer on top of each other, that would kind of make some darkish layers. Okay. So that is pretty much the tree. I'll do some grass around it. And then I think I'll be done with it. And I'll be off to painting something else. This tree took me 33 minutes to paint, apparently, which is more than I expected. Okay. Just gonna do a little bit of grass around the edges, which you can't even see. You can see on this side though a little bit. I guess depending on whether or not you have the chat up. Like that. That's kind of what I'm doing. To start with a lighter color and do darker colors on top, because apparently that makes sense. Okay, now we're gonna add some brown into the grass, because everyone knows grass is never green. I mean, it is green, but like not all the time. It dies. So we're gonna incorporate the depiction of that into this. Like that. And then we're going to do black, and then I'll take a tiny break. But I'll be back. Like, break as in my microphone will be muted and I'll be away, so I won't see your comments for a second. But I'll be coming back, I promise. Okay. So, I'm gonna add a few darker strokes. And then we'll be done. Okay. It's very stylized art, apparently. Okay. So this is the finished tree. I don't really do like a background color or anything. Just figured it looks cool like this. So yeah, that's what it looks like. So that is the tree for now. That's the painting I'm doing. And I'm gonna leave be gone for a second, and then I'll be back. So I'm gonna go, but I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, I'm back now after a slight intermission. Okay, so this was the first painting of the stream. If you can see it. There you go. Pretty basic. just a tree with some interesting grass. So now we're gonna paint something different. We're gonna paint a flower as requested by someone else in the stream, but this is the tree that we did. So now we're starting fresh, painting a flower. Okay, there's more people now, so I wanted to show you guys. I keep showing this, but I painted this butterfly. If any of you guys like it. It took me like 2 hours to paint, but this is like kind of my, I guess, my ideal painting style. It doesn't always turn out like that, but that's how I'd like to paint, if I can. Okay. So now I'm gonna draw some flowers. I haven't really painted many flowers. Haven't really been the best at it. I think flowers is one of those things where it's better to just paint it instead of trying to draw it first. So I guess we do that. I don't really know. Paint like some hydrangea things similar to the butterfly. Let's do that. So for that, I am gonna do a little sketch thing. So we're just gonna kind of do some random, can't even see that, some random squiggly lines. I wish I could zoom out. Thought that was gonna be in frame, but it's not. Is this in frame? Yeah. Like that, kind of, but more abstract and squiggly. So that's kind of like a base type thing for hydrangea flower. So we need to make them taller and kind of a bit more abstract, I guess. Are these how hydrangeas look? I don't even know if that's a white flower. I don't even know. I need to work on my flowers. I'm supposed to be a plant person, but I'm not a very good one. Okay, this is kind of how what the drawing is giving me right now. So we're just going to move my water and take this drawing, and we're going to fill it in a little bit. So we're going to draw a bit of darker outline on the outside. And this one too. Literally just scribbling. It's gonna look kind of bad right now, but in theory, it'll look better. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little stick and make them look like corn dogs, even though they're not. And then we're gonna add some leaves. Make the leaf shape a bit more leafy. Like that. Make it kind of abstract, because that is kind of how all my stuff turns out, whether it's on purpose or not. No, it's always not on purpose. It's kind of how the leaves are looking. Just like that. And now I'm going to add a little bit of those leaf detail things, those little lines in the leaves that are there. Because those look pretty cool. At least I think they do. Okay, so now we are going to do a little bit of a bottom in terms of ground. Something that these flowers are blend it in. And because this is looking kind of 3D, we're gonna do a flower bed. My perspective, like my perspective drawings aren't the best. I'm still working on getting better at them. But this is how it's going so far. Okay. So it's got a little box with some flowers that are supposed to be kind of going out of here. Can do some little kind of snap here, and then we can make it say something, or we can make it not say something. Just make it say like flowers or something. Gonna make the writing kind of like not the nicest, because who knows, maybe having slightly messy stuff could be a style. Okay, so I just wrote flowers and some bubbly letters, and then did some more sort of detail stuff. I'm gonna make the line that ends the basket thing a little bit for the back, so it looks like the flowers are actually in the flower thing. And that's kind of how a sketch, or whatever you call that, I guess this is a sketch. That's how a sketch is looking. Okay, so that is pretty nice. So next thing we're going to do is start painting. So it's probably be smart to change up my paint water, but I'm not gonna do that yet. So I'm just gonna start painting the flowers and go with kind of a pink theme, like a pink and blue type thing, because that makes sense to me. So looks a lot different when I actually start the painting. Just gonna go around and add the pink onto the flowers. So this is kind of like a dulled down pink, not super bright. But that's perfectly fine. Okay. I'm gonna clean my brush and I'm gonna go in for a light blue color. Like this. Guess I'm making cotton candy flowers. Does that make sense? So I'm just gonna just add some of that, and then I think purple would be a good color. I don't know. Purple would be a good color to end it. Maybe we do yellow. I think yellow is an interesting one. Adds more variety. Yellow is a nice light color. I feel like would look nice. These cotton candy looking flowers. Okay. So these are the basic sort of drawing of the flowers. And now we're gonna move on to the stems. So I'm gonna use this light green. Just gonna go across where the stems are. It's very similar to the yellow, which I think is kind of funny. But it also tells me that I'm gonna have to get a darker color after I use this. Do this sort of underpainting type thing. that. And now we're going to use a darker green that's right next to, well, one color next to the original green I was using. I'm gonna use that across most of the stem and most of the leaf to make the colors pop a bit more. Just like this. Okay. So now we're going to, I was gonna use this green to outline, but I'm not gonna outline yet. So I'm just gonna get this off my brush. I'm not gonna use that yet. Okay, so now for the dirt, I'm gonna make it dirt, obviously. So I'm gonna make it brown. Could start out with okay, that's kind of an orangey brown, but it's fine, we'll build on top of it. Similar to the tree. The tree started out this kind of color at first, I think. Something like this, some type of orangey brown color. So we're going to edit the color as I picked. But for now, this is a good color just to get something down there. When I'm painting, even if it's not the color I plan to use, I like to finish it. I like to just pick a color and use it just to get something to work with. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this sort of skin tone color to paint this like fleshy color to paint the outside of the flower sign, the little basket thing that's holding the flowers themselves. Just like this. I'm just gonna some of this color to make it a little bit splotchy if I want. Kind of like a simple design, but still cute. It's kind of how this is going, like what it's looking like. So I'm just being careful to go around the letters. Don't have to worry too much about it. If I accidentally get a little bit on one, that's okay, but I'm gonna still try to avoid them. I don't want to paint like entirely over them, so they're still pretty white. Okay, so that's kind of how we're going along so far. So now we're going to decide a color for the flower sign. So now, when I think of the sign, I could really use anything, to be honest. Any color would work. Kind of like how that white looks. It looks pretty good to me. Also, that will kind of match the rest of it. I think this is an interesting color. Kind of like a pinkish red thing. I think that looks nice. So, just painting the letters. Just like that. And this will be a very good time to have my really thin brush, but for some reason, I do not know what it is, so I'm just gonna do with what I have. It's kind of what you gotta do sometimes. Okay, so now we're gonna do detail for this. So I'm literally just gonna take my brush and do like a bunch of squigglies through it like that. I'm just gonna take a darker variation of each color and do the exact same thing. Make sure that it's slightly not watery. Helps it. There we go. Like that. Just a bunch of squiggly lines through it. Okay. Now I've got to find something for the yellow one. So for the yellow plant, since yellow's already pretty light, I'm gonna use like a greenish orange for my lines. The lines just give it some texture and help it get that not artificial, but that sort of artistic flower look. Like that. Okay. So now we are going to work on the stems, kind of just going in the same order that we started. So I'm gonna get a bit of a darker green. I'm gonna go around the side of the stem to make like a little bit of contrast between the lighter part and the darker part of the stem. And then just gonna paint the edge of it, just like that. Using the color I already have, and then I'm gonna dip my brush again, so it's surfing a little bit. It's even darker now and even thinner. And I'm gonna very strategically, in a way, draw this color down the leaves to create this pattern. Like that. So, for the people that just got here, this is how the painting is going so far. Just kind of having fun with it. And also, for the people that haven't seen, this is a painting. It's actually in the thumbnail, I think. But this is one of the paintings that I've made. And this kind of shows like the capability of what I can do. So, of course, not everything I do is going to be as good as that, but I'm trying my best. And this tree I painted earlier in the live with kind of like a warm-up thing. So, I'm painting these flowers now. Okay. So, now I'm gonna get some brown. And I'm gonna do the dirt. So for the dirt, I don't really have a specific technique or anything to it. I'm kind of just like making little C's. In the dirt. Gonna add a bit more details. This spot is a bit more watery now. Gonna make it slightly darker towards the back and the front, because that makes sense to me. I'm just going to sort of mix not mix, but you know, make sure the colors flow nicely together. And that's not the only layer I'll be doing on the soil, so I've also got to do some grass and stuff. Okay, now the box. The time everyone's been waiting for. I'm gonna take some brown and then mix it into my tan to make a more boxy color, which is this color I'm painting with now. That kind of showcases a bit more of what I want to be doing with my colors. So I'm just going to take this brown over where I'd previously done the tan and just sort of fill it in. As best as I can. Just want to make sure that it looks nice. And, you know, everything makes at least somewhat sense. A little bit of sense. Okay. So I'm outlining the little basket thing. I'm just gonna go over the edge right here. And kind of clean that up. Okay. So now I'm gonna take a darker brown that's even darker than the brown I'm using right now. I'm gonna add some more detail within the wood box. Take some little lines and stuff, just to add some interest to that area. Same thing for up top, just to kind of help fill the dirt in for some of the little gaps that can be found. Okay, so now I'm going to do a bit more outlining around the pink flower, for example. I'm going to take some of my neon colors and I'm really going to make this stand out. So, got some neon pink here. Not a very natural flower color, but that's perfectly fine. To really make that pink flower stand out. And I do not have a neon blue, but I do have a neon orange. So we're going to use the neon orange for the yellow flower, and then we're going to see if we want to do anything for the blue. This and this dark orange. It was like deep orange highlighter. Orange over here. Okay. Now we don't have a blue like I just said. So for the blue, I'm just gonna go with a regular blue, but just a darker version of said blue. So, get some in my brush. I color the same way I did with the neon colors, except the fact that this paint is not neon, but that shouldn't affect it too much. So that's kind of what we have so far. Okay, so now I'm gonna do some neon purple for the inside of the flower sign. But here, so the inside of the sign. Just going to add some of this neon purple into there. And we're going to use, after we're done with the painting part, we're going to use some of our white highlighter pen to add some accents. We're going to use our pen in general, like just our basic pen, to add some, as well as some black paint. So we're going to use the black paint next to add some. Sorry. Whoops. Anyway. Oh, we might want to do a like a blue background, like a little blue wash or something. That could be interesting. I don't really know. I haven't really been doing many backgrounds. Not really sure why. If we do something simple. Okay. So just like that. I feel like that's a pretty good background. Okay. So now we're gonna add some grass on the ground around the box, which I'm not really sure if you can see. It doesn't really matter too much. So I'm just going to use some of the darker color now to make the strokes easier to see. I'm going to use some dark green so you can really see them. Add some of that to the flower. Also do a few, not too many, brown strokes. I like adding brown into my grass to kind of tie everything in together. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is take my purple again. Now it should be slightly darker. And I'm gonna go around my letters. So this brush has like a little loose hair on it, which kind of drags the paint a little bit, but it's fine. You can see I'm just making the colors a little bit bolder around this side. Once again, just to add some detail. Okay. So now for the last time, I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit of darker brown. Go around the dirt. But I think that's, for the most part, the best I'm gonna be able to get. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my favorite part, which is adding the black lines. So, get some black on my brush. Make sure it's not cloudy. Make sure it's opaque. And I'm gonna cut that little hair my brush off because I don't want this to mess up. Okay, so I should be getting nice, solid, somewhat crisp black lines now. I added that more water because it's a tad bit dry. And now I'm just gonna start outlining stuff. Just like that. And I'm gonna make the lines really harsh, as I keep saying. But I just like it that way. I think it looks nice, having the nice, incredibly strong break in the up piece. I like the playfulness it adds to the whole thing. Be careful about not resting my hand on it. So now we're going to take my black and I'm going to do a bunch of random motions to help add detail to the soil, which you cannot see that well. But that is totally fine. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm gonna take my brush that draws paint in it, like I already mentioned. Just going to add some more lines. Just like that. Going to mix up my paint even more. Gonna add a little C outline, just like that, around the flower. Doing black outlining is slightly risky, but the reward, at least in my opinion, outweighs the risk by a whole lot. So, just doing a bunch of little circles, which I find to be pretty satisfying to paint. Do some little dashes. like that. And then it'd be helpful to have a smaller brush for this. But I just gotta kind of shape my brush small. I don't put too much ink on it. And we're gonna go around the flowers a little bit. There. Just going to keep going around it. Just like this. Just gonna do a very gentle up. Just to make it look nice. I think that looks nice. Okay, I'm gonna do another line. On this side. Okay. Do some lines on the whatever this thing is. Flower bed, I guess. That's what this box with giant flowers in it is. Okay. So that's we got. I think we can do a little bit more black. Some lines in the sky. Some birds. That's what these feelings are supposed to be. And just a little, I don't know, lines to mark gusts of wind or something. Okay. I think I'm gonna do a bit more formatting type stuff at the bottom. with the glasses. Just gonna kind of help everything flow together. There we go. I think this is about where this specific painting is gonna end. Okay. So I'll show this one now. Might do some more pen. Like I done. Oh, I just realized I'm not done yet. I didn't add the white highlights. Normally you're supposed to do that before you do the black paint, but I was a bit excited, so I did it. So I'm doing it after. And do some highlights on the black if you wish. Don't have to, but you can. This pen does not work the best, but I don't mind it. It makes an interesting sort of pattern. But this is very useful where the dirt is, as it creates another pattern again, so you can see the dirt. Okay. But once again, this is very stylized way of painting. Obviously not everyone can paint like this. Everyone has their own way to paint. This is just the way that I chose to do it because it's the way that I find to be fun. Okay, so add some more highlights. It's fun adding them where the black is though because they show up really good there. Just be careful that the paint you're adding them on isn't wet, and if it is, make sure it's not too wet. But the paint seems to dry rather quick. And the main thing this does is just create another layer of interest in your art, which is always a good thing, you know, something that makes your art cooler to look at, more interesting to look at, something that gives someone a reason to look at it. But I'll try to find a better camera angle to do this in the future. This one is not the best, but it works. It's fine. Okay, there's a gnat, whatever it's called, that keeps calling on my work. Just gonna let it call there. Gonna add some more white around where the grass is. And then I think this piece will be finished. So I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. So this is what the painting looks like. I might choose some more pen glosser, which I'm probably most definitely gonna do. Looks pretty nice though. I like how it looks. I think it looks cool. There's a lot going on, but you can kind of tell what it is just by looking at it. I think the flowers, the words on it, are a bit hard to read. So because of that, I think I'm going to go over them again. But I think it looks pretty nice for what we have so far. So, I'm going to go over the text again. I'm making it, bolder because this is going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest focal point of the piece of artwork. And since it's such a big focal point, I want to make sure that it's a good focal point. So, just taking the pen that I used to originally sketch the design. And I'm just going around the letters and making the outline around them a bit bolder. Like that's pretty fun. It helps, you know, you be able to read the letters, which is kind of important. I really like the mixture between the black and the white sort of outlines that I added. I might add some other pen outlines. I just like, you know, varying line weights and stuff of that nature. Anything that makes the piece look more interesting. You can see in my butterfly painting, I did a lot of sort of white, and then the butterfly, a big part of it is black, and because of that I made the outline black to kind of make everything line up well, which I felt worked out pretty well for me. So I'm just using my pen to add some more details. So like for example with this glasses, I'm just gonna go and scribble some lines just to make the glass more glassy. Just kind of do whatever I want, to be honest. I've been looking into making some art prints. Kind of a complicated process. It doesn't have to be, it just is because I'm poor and I have no money, which makes everything more complicated as we've sort of developed an understanding of over time. But yeah, so I'm pretty much just taking my pen and going over the outlines, because I've learned that I, personally, at least, I enjoy a really strong outline. I love a really bold outline around stuff. I just think it makes it look super cool. So you'll see, well, I did a lot of, you know, super thick bolding. And there's some spots where I didn't do anything that crazy. I'm just going over with my pen, make it look a bit better. But if any of you are interested, and if you are in this live currently, and you would be, I actually have an Etsy, and I'm going to be posting more paintings on there. I have some right now, but I'm going to be posting more. So if anyone's here and you want to comment, if you would prefer me make more paintings, or you know, if you visited my Etsy, I made a poll saying whether you visited my Etsy or not. It's plantvengeancellc.etsy.com. Just I'm always looking to get feedback on it, you know, to see if people like it, what people like about it, what people don't like about it, you know, all that type of stuff. Feedback on things is always nice. Always appreciate some feedback, especially if it's constructive criticism. I don't want someone just telling me that my shop sucks, because if you're gonna say that, at least tell me why. Okay. So you can see I've added some more outlines to just make it look a lot nicer, and I'm still gonna work on adding more. So I'm just kind of going around the page, and then I'm also gonna add some birds and pen, making it kind of like a maximalistic thing. Kind of just adding stuff everywhere because I feel like that makes it look cool. Okay. So I don't want to add so much stuff that I add too much stuff. That's kind of a problem I can have sometimes. I tend to overwork my artwork sometimes, which isn't, not the nicest thing. Okay. Okay. So I think, from what I can see, I think this art piece is done. So that's what this one looks like right now. The one that I have just finished. So it's pretty much just some flowers, some very big flowers, in a container that has flowers, some grass around it, the sky, and kind of my own art style that I've kind of curated. So we've done this. We have done this tree earlier. It's kind of like a practice thing. I made this tree. Nothing too crazy. That was just kind of a practice. And this flowers painting is an actual piece. That's an actual completed piece that'll be going up on my Etsy. And then this butterfly is also already up on my Etsy, actually. So it's Plant Functions LLC if anyone's interested in that. So yeah, let me know in the chat if anyone has any ideas for paintings. I think I can go ahead and paint one more thing. It kind of just depends on how everything goes. So if you have any idea for any like plant themed paintings or anything like that, let me know. I'm gonna change out my paint water. So just gonna set up my camera. You can see after painting for a while, paint water tends to get pretty filthy, especially when you're using black. It's such a dark color. See, my paint water is incredibly dark. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this into a cup that doesn't have a hole in it. Ooh. Okay. I have gonna move my painting. So this is our first actual piece of the day. I'm gonna try to do paintings every day. But yeah, this is, like I just showed you, that's kind of the finished thing. Okay. Gonna rinse this out with some water. Okay, I'm gonna put some more water in my rinse container over there. And now, and here's something else. So if anyone's here, anyone in the chat, you guys should tell me what to paint. Because there's 5 people here. I don't know if any of you guys want to say anything, but I guess I can just figure out what to paint on my own. I like going for simpler things. I use references sometimes. References as in like pictures of animals. I actually have some drawings I can show you. Well, at least I should. Oh, yes, this is one of my prized drawings. The duck. It's so cute. This is like something that it took me like a few minutes to draw. But I absolutely love it. And it's very tiny. It's very cute. But yeah, it's one of my favorite things I've made. Now some other, miscellaneous paintings and drawings and things. Let's see. Let's do a little reveal, I guess. We got the duck. And then we have this dragonfly. Thought that's pretty cool. Then this butterfly. Then these pretty poorly drawn penguins. Then shark and jellyfish. And then dinosaur. So I draw too. Just for this paint. I just tend to paint a bit more. At least that's what I do on my channel. I don't really draw on my channel. Well, I draw like sketches to paint onto, but I don't really, just draw. Just trying to figure out what to make. It's a lot easier to make stuff with references. I've been streaming for a while, almost an hour and 30 minutes, which is pretty good. I'm not really sure how long you're supposed to stream. Any new people here, if you have any ideas for what I should draw, let me know. Because I'm kind of not, I don't really have any ideas right now. Might have to make something up. I really don't know. This is a lot more difficult than it should be, I feel like. What did I draw? I think I titled this video, Give Me Ideas for Things to Draw. So, I would very much appreciate it if I could receive ideas for things to draw. That'd be very nice. At least I think it would be very nice. I don't know what I should draw. Or paint, whatever, same thing. What should I paint? Painted flowers, painted a tree. So what else could I do? Paint like some abstract thing. Could paint a pillow. I'm thinking about that. I don't even know if I could draw a pillow. I guess I can try. I'll try. Okay, so I'm just gonna start with a pillowy square. Like that. That's still not in the frame. Nothing I make is ever in the frame. This is very small. I feel like I should... We can expand this, I think. What else can we make that's in a square? There's so many things. I don't really know. I'm trying to find ideas that do not exist in my brain. If anything, at least my square looks nice. Make it a plant pot, but that's also kind of basic. So many things that could be a square. I don't know why I can't think of anything. Think of anything cool. Make a house, I guess. It's kind of boring too. A square house. Everyone likes a good square house. Why not? Why not? Look like a really basic kid's house. Then everyone's gonna be like, I thought you could draw. I wonder if anyone actually thought about that before. There's a lot of people that come in and out of the stream a lot, but I haven't had a person actually say anything in a while. Okay. So I'm gonna draw like the most basic house you could ever imagine. Like that. Wonderful. Absolutely beautiful. And next to this basic house, I'm going to draw something else. We could do a little like stable type thing. You know, a horse stable, but without the horse, because I'm not trying to draw a horse right now. Like a really basic, like a table type thing. But it's not a table because it's a stable. But it's also not because I don't even really know how to draw that. Can I make it look more like a thing that houses stuff? Guess we can make a floor. That'd probably be helpful. What should be in it? Horse stuff, like some troughs or something. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of just making stuff up. Looks like a flower basket. That works too, I guess. Bag of feed. I don't think it really matters what I'm making. As long as it looks fire. As long as it looks cool. Okay, we've got a house. We got a horsey stable-y thingy. Next, we're going to do something that's a bit more related to plants. I'm going to do some garden thingies. So, the perspective is not exactly the perspective I was hoping for. I need to work on my perspective work. I need to do some perspective work, actually, because I haven't really done any. It's okay. We learn as we go, and we go as we learn. Okay. So those are some incredibly basic garden beds. We'll do some carrots coming out of that one, and we'll do something else coming out of this one. We'll do some spirally things. I don't know what they are. Okay, can do some grass coming out around there. Okay, looks great. Now, towards the bottom here, do something different. You can do sort of like path across the area. And in the front of the house, we can have another path that leads to town somewhere. And then this path in front of the house can lead to the path that the house goes on. Because that makes sense. Okay. So now we can do some trees. Some pretty basic tree lines. Like that. To make a little foresty thing happen. Add some details to the trees. Okay. Now we're gonna do some darker outlines around each tree so I don't get confused on what's a tree and what's not a tree. Okay. Well, let me know if you guys are enjoying this first stream of mine. I'm curious. Because I haven't really watched streams that often. I've obviously never made one before. So I also wanted to let you guys know that, I do not really know what I'm doing, which is probably very evident and obvious. But that's okay. Because I will, improve as time goes on. But if you have any suggestions for me, I would greatly appreciate receiving them. And, having someone say something would be great. Okay. So now we're going to do some, cross hatching sort of stuff to make some areas darker than others. So now we got this whole background thing going on. So we got the whole ground, and we're gonna do a whole glass color. I want to paint this one in a pretty interesting fashion. Okay, so that's how it's looking so far. And now we are going to start painting. Okay, so we got clean water to start painting, which is helpful, Everyone loves some clean water. And basically, we're going to paint this in a different way than I normally do. I'm going to splash it, but I'm not going to go inside the lines. I'm going to purposely go outside of the lines, which I know it's going to upset some people. And if it upsets you, that's fine. You don't have to watch this. But I'm paint it messily on purpose and hope that makes it look cool. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'll learn that it doesn't, and I'll hopefully not do it again, but probably do it again to see if I can make it work next time. I'm gonna see if I can get away with some very quick, loose style painting. Because everyone loves quick painting. I don't know if everyone loves loose painting, but nothing better than a nice quick painting. Okay, so now we're going to work on the paths. I'm just going to, literally just going to go where I see a path and kind of drag my brush along that area. Going in a specific rhyme or reason, just kind of moving along. We're gonna go with a classic red barn house thing. I'm just gonna spray the color everywhere. Not even gonna get it on every single part of the house. We're gonna go for a black roof, but we're gonna do a gray roof because I want to use black later. Gotta do the smoke. Now for the garden beds, doing a lot of brown, but that's okay. I'm gonna do even more brown. I guess this is a wood, so it just tends to be kind of brown in the woods. Do brown for the top of the stable type thing. Gonna do some more. Gonna do some yellow for the feed bag. The trough, the food inside of it's gonna be yellow. Then do some brown around where that is. It'd be incredibly nice if I could zoom out on this. I've said that like 4 times, but it's very true. Okay, now the feed bag is gonna be, what color would a feed bag be? Another shade of brown. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna start doing the fun part, adding some green amongst all of our brown. Gonna do different sort of splotches of green. So we're gonna do one splotch of green, which is right here. Some brown under it, so that's kind of affecting the quality of the color a little bit. That's okay. Now we're gonna get a different green. We're gonna go around this area. And where that path is, we're gonna get an even different green. Gonna go around over here. An even different green, darker green in this case. Gonna go around where that is, and we're just gonna spread the colors around a little bit. Now up where the trees are, going to add some green, because tree leaves tend to be green, at least sometimes. I get some more dark green. Just gonna start throwing colors around, because that makes sense. Okay, now I'm gonna go with a bit of more neutral color, a color I haven't used yet. Gonna go around the path just with some water to kind of let the greens mix. Just like this. Gonna add some blue for the sky. A bit more blue. Okay, now we got a lot of color going on here. So now we're going to add even more brown, because we obviously don't have enough brown yet. Going to add that inside the bed. I'm going to get some more green, some dark green. I'm going to go where the beds are, and we're just going to start coloring the plants. Just like that. I think that looks fairly good. Okay, do a few little strokes here and there for more detail. Okay, so now we're going to do my favorite part. It's going to be adding the black outlines. So we're gonna kind of do this loosely too. I go across, kind of not pay too much attention to my brush. Just gonna kind of scribble with some lines, just to kind of add some more detail to it. Okay, now we're gonna mix up some more black to make an even deeper black, which we're gonna use to outline more stuff. Literally just taking it, just kind of moving my brush around some places, just to kind of facilitate some movement and bring some stuff together. Just want to make the colors just a little bit more fluid. Just add a little bit of water, and that tends to work really well. Just like that. Okay. So this is what we have so far for our painting. That's what we got. And now, similar to the butterfly painting, we're gonna go ahead and start adding some white. Those little white highlights in there. So, just gonna take my white highlighter pen and I'm gonna start making some outlines. Awesome. Some lines just throughout the painting. Nothing crazy. I'm not gonna do as much as I normally use it. I'm literally just gonna kind of chaotically scribble throughout the painting. Some of this paint is wet, so I can kind of move it around and stuff. It's pretty cool. Just having fun with it. This sound is horrible. Okay, just gonna have fun with it and kind of just scribble the pen all over. And I think that leaves us, drop my brush. I think that leaves us with another finished painting. It's a very different style than what I'm used to. Very fluid, slightly chaotic, but I like it a lot. So I want to do like a thing where I show all the paintings I painted in this last 3-hour or so session. So the first one I'll do it in order. So the first one I painted was this tree. Pretty cool. Second one I painted was this flowers painting. These will all be going up on my Etsy, by the way, plantvengeancellc.com. It's the link in bio and in the poll that I made for this live. It's listed there. And then the painting I just made is this one. So yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'm gonna be ending the live now. but it might take a second because I have to figure out how to end it first. I actually don't know. So, let me see. Okay, I just made a highlight on accident. Oh, this is my last painting, by the way, if you guys are new here. I'm currently trying to end the stream. Not exactly sure how, though. Just click the X. Yeah, okay. Bye, guys. I'm gonna end the stream now.